All right, Kilo 2 Foxtrot India Golf with you on another video over here. Let me throw this thing on because no one wants to hear that. So I think this is going to help, which is going to kind of just, excuse me, bear with me here. Okay, I hope that helps. And I'm trying to improve on the audio over here because the last video I had, and I appreciated, everyone said, hey, kill the background music and it would be a great video. So hopefully this is a better video with better audio. And so it's Kilo 2 Foxtrot India Golf. This video is basically going to be about the Dr-2x repeater system. I don't want to talk too much words. I want to kind of get into it. I hate when people do videos and there's all these words that they're saying, and just get to the point already. So I'm going to get to the point. Before getting to the point, I want to thank you all for coming here and watching the video, commenting below, and helping out with me making better videos for all of us. I appreciate it. And if you subscribe, I really appreciate that also. As you know, ham radio stuff, it's never a one-person thing. So it's you need more people to make it all work, and the more the merrier. So thank you all for coming in here, subscribing, supporting, commenting below, telling me how I can make better videos, what would you like to see, so on and so forth. So this video is going to be about the Dr-2x repeater system, which you see here, and basically it's going to be about the things that I didn't see in other videos. There's a lot of great videos on there, firmware updates, how to do that, and how to do all this great stuff, linking WiresX. We're going to get into that one in another video because I do want to show how to link WiresX to this the way that we're doing it, and we're not doing it direct, we're doing it through RF, and we'll get into that in another video. But for this video, it's going to be about internet relay linking, IMRS, basically linking one repeater to multiple other repeaters, and how to do that, what you need to do to set it up. One thing I will tell you, if you're getting or thinking about getting a Dr-2x repeater system, you need to know that even though it's 4 leads in the back and you have 4 type N connectors for 4 different antennas to receive, to transmit, it is a DRDT, dual receive, dual transmit system. But putting those antennas both together or even further apart, you're going to get desensing issues, desensitivity, desensing, whatever. If you don't know, that's when the transmit signal, the repeat signal, kind of blocks off the signal it's receiving, and vice versa. It just blocks the signal off. It kind of jams itself out, if you will. And so you're gonna need a duplexer for that. So thank you to N3MSK for coming over and helping us with the duplexer, getting it set up, getting it tuned, and kind of giving us a course on how repeater systems work. He has multiple repeater systems and they all work fantastic. He links them all together, and it's a great repeater system in our area that we're lucky to have. Remember, guys, a lot of us, we put our own money into doing this, and we do it for the community. We don't get anything out of it. All we get out of it is participation from other ham friends, amateur radio friends. I'm not an expert. I'm an amateur at this, and I'm far from an expert. So bear with me. So basically, for the internet relay linking system, or IMRS, or whatever you want to call it, you're going to need to know 3 different things. One is how to set up your router, and it's pretty simple. Just need to forward the UDP ports. It's just one port. I'm going to go over that on how to set that up within my router, and most routers are the same, so you'll be able to configure your router the same way, just by going to the port forwarding and forwarding it over to the IP address that's in the repeater system that's attached to the repeater. The other thing you're going to want is the software. You're going to want to download the software, download the drivers, get the drivers going, and then download the software. The other thing you're going to want is to know how to set up the repeater, and we're going to go right into that. Let's go right into the repeater system and start going over that. Okay, so this is the menus right here. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your setup. Long press. And you can see I have mine set to 0, 0. You're going to want to set yours to 0, 0. It's just that simple. And it's already set to 0, 0 by default. But what you're going to want to do is enable the other repeaters that you want to connect to. Now, in the software, I have a repeater set to 61, and if I had more linked systems, I'd have to enter them in there also in order to enable them. That's something very weird, but if you want to enable those DGIDs, you have to put them in the repeat group. And it's not too complicated. You come in there, you tap on it again, and I'll just edit this. You have to hit edit, and I'll just come here and delete that just to show you. Put it in, 6-1, boop, boop, hit back, right, and hit back again, and it's in there. You see it's 61. That's, if you have more repeaters in there, you put on more repeaters in there. Let's say I had another repeater. I can go and hit edit, and I can add another repeater in there, 62, 63, so on and so forth. But I only have that one, so I'll just put that one in there. And I guess you can even almost put all of them in there if you want, 1 through 100. But you got to put them in there. I don't know why it's like that, but you do have to put them in there. And then once you do that, you have them in the repeat group, you're good. That's it. The other thing that you would want it, that's it. That's all there is to it on the menu side here. There it is. And just so you know, the firmware on this is setup 1.58, and the panel is 1.03, and the LAN is 1.4.1. And we did have an issue with another repeater that didn't match the same firmware, but we're not sure if that was the case. So it's as simple as that, as setting up the repeater. What you really want to do is, what you have to do is you have to go into the software, and you see we put that as 61. Let's go take a look at the software. And remember, you have to download the software from the Yaesu site and first put the drivers in. After putting the driver in, then you connect the wire, not the other way around. Put the drivers first, and make sure that the wire that you're using to connect is a data wire and not a charge cable. We had that issue. Well, let's get into the software side of it now. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is go to Yaesu.com, and Yaesu.com, on the very first page, when you load up, you just go right into Dr2x. Go into Files, and then come down to IMRS, Internet Linked Multi-Site Repeater System, Setup Software, and Driver. Now, you want to make sure you download the drivers and download this together. It'll be the drivers. Extract all the files. When you extract all the files, they should be in my downloads, and you'll see Setup Tool. I extracted them. You'll see this, the Setup Tool. And then you want to install the drivers, right? Use the install if you're not sure whether you have 64 or 32-bit system, and it'll get it set up for you. Once you install the drivers, then you connect the USB. Do not connect the USB to the computer or the system until you install the drivers first. Remember to use a data cable, not a charge cable. We struggled with 2 charge cables before we figured out that we needed a data cable and not the charge cable. Charge cables will not transfer data, hence you will not be able to get connected to the DR2 repeater system. Then you install the IMRS setup. And it pretty much is an install. It's just software ready to run. When I run that software, I already have it open up and running here. Let me get out of here, double click on that, and it'll bring you into this guy. Now once you're here, you go ahead and first thing you want to do is read from device. If you're connected, you'll see this here. If you're not getting a connection to the repeater, this will be gray. Read from device, hit OK, and then write to device. Get used to doing read, write. Once you read and write from the device, go to settings. And I have DHCP. Some people opt to put in the numbers themselves and then configure it from the router. If you're having a DHCP to router like most of us, hit DHCP and it'll get the numbers for you there. That's where you want to connect, where you want to forward the UDP port to. We'll get into UDP forwarding soon right after this. So you have to make sure you're get that number, and then you forward the UDP port to that IP address within your LAN. Hit OK. Once you do that, write to device, read from device. Now, you see I put my repeater up in here. Don't do that. You can put your repeater in there, but don't enable it because it'll be on 001, and your repeater is actually on 00, which is the default, and that'll make it easier for everyone to connect to their repeater without having to configure it and repeat on the digital side. So you leave it at 00. However, if I scroll down here, I will see November 1 DJS/R, and that is my friend Jeff's repeater over in Ohio. So we're linked via 61. Remember, we put that number in the repeater. So that's 61. Now, I'm going to go over here and add another repeater on 60 for you. I'm going to go over here and add another repeater on 60 for you. And it's going to be just a bogus numbers because 1, 1, 2, let's say 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. And then you can write anything you want in there. And I'm going to come over here and hit OK. Now this is a bogus IP address, but it's going to be in there. This one's already grabbed, and it gets the name once it connects to the repeater. But for now, we'll do that. Then you hit, like usual, write to device, read from device, and you'll see read complete, and your settings are there, it's stuck. Then you hit search repeaters. When you hit search repeaters, you hit, now it's in blue. Now if I come over here, enable that repeater, I'm going to hit search repeaters. It's going to ask me, oops, I forgot to do that step, so it's going to do it for me. I'm going to hit start. Please wait. And now we have that repeater that's NG, no good, and the other repeater which is good, the OK, which is my friend Jeff's repeater. When I hit close, I'm going to see that repeater's in red because it's a bogus repeater or it's just not connecting to another repeater site. So I'll go back in here and I will delete that. And notice that that name is in blue right there. Mine would be in blue too if I looked it up, but I left it disabled. So I hit write to device because I want to save, read from device, see that it's saved, scroll down here, and there I have 61 November 1 Delta Juliet Sierra /R, and that's just because he named it that, and it got the name once it connected to the IP address. That really is all there is to it on this side of the software, the IMRS setup. X out of there. Actually, I'll minimize it, and then we'll get into the router side of things. Okay, so here we are in the router. And when you go to your router, every router is going to maybe look a little differently, but there's always going to be something that says port forwarding, port triggering. Now, as you see, I have a couple of ports forwarded, and the one I have here is the Yaesu IMRS. I will go and hit edit serve. Oh, I have to add the service first. So I already added. So let's just see if I can go in here. Because basically what you want to do is you want to just add these ports in, right? The external ports to the internal ports, all the same. Unless you're doing something where you really want to hide your ports, you can come in on this port, and then if you're having some port issues, you can change the port on the software, right? Change this port to whatever I want, but I'm going to leave it the same. I'll quit that, yeah. And then I would have to change this internal ports to whatever I change that to, but I'm going to leave it the same. Coming in to the router and then going into .9. Go to edit service. I don't know what this is going to do. There you are. The service type, it's named Yaesu IMRS. That's what I named it. Make sure you put it on UDP. And then here goes your start, and I use the same ports to come out. So I'm going to hit cancel because that's already done. And that's all to it to port forwarding, but you have to make sure your port forwarding is enabled and you have it set in there. Make sure you save also. At the end of, I don't know how your repeater works, your router works, but you probably have to save after. And that's all there is to it. Okay, now that we've configured the router, we've configured the software for the repeater and the repeater itself, let's do some setup and testing on the 991 Alpha. So first thing you want to do is set it up by hitting the GM button. Now I've already programmed this one in here. I can just hit select, but let's just for programming's sake, let's come in here and let's hit TX. I'm going to hit 61 because remember we enabled that. And if I want to tag it, I can tag it also. Tag, tag, tag. But that's that. Now, I'm going to change that because I don't know if that's going to make an error, so I'll just delete that. If I don't know if it's going to bother the other one that I did. And once you create it, you go ahead and hit select and you'll see it turn green there. Now I come back this way. After hitting it, I hit the F menu button. Oh, actually I hit the back button, excuse me. And now that I hit the back button on that, you'll see it says, because I tagged it, I tagged that there. So you'll see it says November 1, Delta Juliet Sierra /R. And that's because I tagged it there. And it's just letting me know on the 001 that I am on DPID 61. So like a tone, but instead of a tone, a digital tone, if you will, it'll turn on, it'll link when I key up to. Also, you have to set the timeout timer. I should have went over that with you, but that's pretty simple, and it has to be above 30 seconds, and I think it's set to 30. Right now I have it set to 30 seconds because I want the link to close 30 seconds after I open it. Unless I hit it again. Now, if I hit the button, I should hear a single beep telling me that it's connected. While it's connected for those 30 seconds, anyone can talk on it. But if no one hits that zero, if no one like myself that has it programmed to 01 hits the transmit key and transmits that, it's going to close in 30 seconds. So someone has to be able to hit that to open it, or they have to put it inside of their system, their handheld or their radio. They have to put that DPID 61. And the DPID is actually 61. I just have it programmed in the 01 slot. But it's DPID 61, as you saw. And we can go back to that right now. Hit the GM button, and you'll see TX is 61, even though it's on the 01 slot. So let's key up, and we'll make the connection over to Jeff's repeater in Ohio from over here in New Jersey. I click once. Let me just get out of here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to key up, which is here, and when I do that, you heard a single beep. That beep is letting me know that I am connected now to Jeff's repeater over there. And if anyone talks for the next 30 seconds on this repeater on the digital side, VW or DN, it will come out of Jeff's repeater system over in Ohio as well. If no one like myself keys up again with the TX61, then, and I think that was Jeff just reconnecting over to me. It was a single beep, so that was a connection. So on Jeff's side, he heard a single beep, and hey Jeff, I'm just testing. Are you there? I didn't mean to wake you. Let's see if Jeff's there. I heard another beep come through. So that was probably Jeff. And also on this repeater, you'll see when it's connected, it'll be blinking. However, I do know that on this system, when it disconnects, I only hear a single beep. So I'm going to turn this radio on. And you heard a double beep. So I'm going to do that again with the Yaesu FT70, just so you can see. So now I hit on the 70, If I key up, nothing happens, right? Because I don't have a DPID in there. For the FT70, you have to long tap the mode button over here. Long tap. Now I have that ID there, and I can scroll to 61 because that's my man Jeff's number. Hit mode again. I'm receiving on 00. You always want to receive 00 on everything. Now, if I key up, beep, you heard the single beep, and that's because I transmitted with here 61. Excuse me if I went off screen there. Now I'm going to just get out of here so I don't keep opening up the connection. Go back to 00 because I don't want to open this connection every single time I hit the transmit button. Come back here again, here. And then if you heard a double beep, that's because the 30-second timer just disconnected us. Here's how you set the timer. TOT, IMRS. 1 minute. And I like to set it to 30 seconds. So it closes out 30 seconds after the last person enters in the DPID or DGID. That is linking with IMRS. I hope that helped out. But some of the takeaway things that if you fast forward to this point and went straight to the takeaways, some of the takeaways you want to know. Let me be real clear about this. If I can twist this thing around without breaking it, how does this thing work? Okay, well, if I can be real clear about this, you need a duplexer. You need a duplexer. The other thing is come up with a structure if you're going to be linking multiple repeater systems. If you're interested, we have a Facebook group that we just started. Look up Yaesu Internet Linking. Contact me. Let me know if there's any questions you have. I'd be more than happy to help out, and I'd be really happy to link up with you. The more systems we have linked together, the better. We are coming up with a structure. The structure that I am proposing for it, and I know it's just based on US, I guess, but what we're thinking is that numbers, if I'm in a 2 region, I'm Kilo 2, Foxtrot India Golf, so my repeater should be starting with a 2. My DGID should be starting with a 2 on your end. So I would be 21, and if there's 7 or 8 other repeaters on here, or 9 other repeaters, 10 other repeaters, they would be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I would use just 21 to 29, and then save the 20 slot to connect all those repeaters together, or save the 20 spot to do your Wires X system, if you have a separate system for that. And then 90 to 99 should be 91 would be all the 10 regions. 92 would be 21 through 29, right? 93 would be 31 to 39, and because you can put group IDs, and then I would be able to put 91 in and then talk to the 10 repeaters in the 1 region. 92, the 10 repeaters in the 2 region. When I get 99, I should link all repeaters together to that and be able to connect to all groups and all repeaters that I have in my system. That's just so what I'm proposing. So that's the DR2X repeater system with IMRS. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm sorry if I missed anything. I try to make this as brief and clear and crisp as possible. Tune in, subscribe, like the video if you like it. Subscribe, and if you don't like what's coming up next, unsubscribe, but subscribe so this way you can, and hit that bell, I guess they say, so you can get the notification for when I put the next video out. And I think the next one we're going to be doing, I don't want to make any promises. Actually, I do want to tell you we are going to do it, but I don't want to make how many promises and how fast we'll do it. But I want to put a really good video together on the Wires X system and how we do it. We do it by linking up another RF system on there. This way we maintain the AMS system, because I believe you lose the AMS. You go pure digital if you connect Wires X direct, and it's better just to have a separate RF link into the system with Wires X reverse the frequencies. We'll get into that and create a separate wires X system on the repeater system that will always, no matter what DPID, it'll always have access to that wires X system when you hit the X button on any Fusion radio. So yeah, that's Kilo 2 Foxtrot India Golf. That's all I have for this. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and thank you even more for hitting subscribe or liking the video or commenting below. Appreciate it, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook too, and Instagram. Right? Instagram, we're Kilo Delta 2 Foxtrot India Golf. No, we're Kilo. I don't know. We're on Instagram and we're on Facebook. So check us out and check out the group that we have there for linking IMRS repeaters, linking these repeaters together. A couple of guys in the group, and we're all starting to make it happen. So hope to see you there. Kilo 2 Foxtrot India Golf. We're out of here. 73, 7-3, and good day. God bless.